You ever sit down to study, and somehow 2 hours later, you've done everything except study? Yeah, me too. You check your phone, get a snack, stare at your notes, rearrange your desk, and then suddenly, bam, it's bedtime. And now you're thinking, why can't I just focus like other people? The problem usually isn't you. The problem is the routine. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the perfect study routine, one that actually works. Not just for a day, but every single time you need to study. No fluff, just what works. Let's dive in. Part 1, starting the right way. Okay, first thing you need to understand. The perfect study routine doesn't start when you open your book. It actually starts before that. 1, your brain needs a cue. You know how your brain just knows it's time to sleep when you brush your teeth, turn off the lights, and lie in bed? That's called a cue, a small trigger that tells your brain what to expect. So here's the trick. Create a mini ritual that you do before every study session. It can be something simple. Make a cup of tea or coffee. Clean your desk for 2 minutes. Open a fresh page in your notebook. Put your phone in another room. Play the same 10-minute lo-fi playlist. Over time, your brain will connect that ritual with "it's time to focus." It sounds small, but trust me, it makes a big difference. Think of it like warming up before a workout. It gets your mind ready. 2, plan before you start. Another mistake most people make? They sit down to study without knowing what they're actually going to do. Then they just flip through notes, reread old stuff, and call it a day. That's not studying. That's pretending to study. So here's what to do instead. Before you start, write down 3 specific tasks. Not big, vague goals like study biology. I mean clear actions like review 1 chapter of biology, do 10 practice questions, make flashcards for the key terms. Clear tasks equals clear focus. And when you complete them, it actually feels good. You get a little dopamine hit every time you tick one off. Part 2, the 50-10 technique. Now let's talk about how long to study. You've probably heard of the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes work, 5 minutes break. That's okay. But what works even better for deeper focus is the 50-10 method. Number 3, work 50 minutes, break 10. Here's how it works. You study with full focus for 50 minutes. Then take a complete 10-minute break. No study, no scrolling through textbooks. During those 50 minutes, you go all in. No distractions, no checking your phone. That's your sprint. During the 10 minutes, you reset. You can walk around, stretch, grab a snack, breathe, look outside, or just chill. Your brain can only handle so much intense focus at once. If you try to study for hours straight, your energy drops and your brain starts zoning out, even if your eyes are still looking at the page. But if you give it regular breaks, it stays fresh longer. You'll actually get more done in less time. Number 4, eliminate all distractions. This one is huge. Even the tiny distractions hurt your focus more than you think. You might think, oh, it's just one text. It's just one tab open in the background. It's just music with lyrics. Nope. Every time your focus breaks, even for a few seconds, your brain takes 10 to 15 minutes to get fully back into deep concentration. So here's what you do. Put your phone far away, like in another room. Use apps like Forest, Focus Keeper, or Cold Turkey. If you need music, use instrumental only. Lo-fi, classical, or binaural beats work well. Block distracting websites while you work. Your future self will thank you later. Part 3, active, passive learning. Let's get into how to study, because honestly, most people don't study the right way. They spend hours highlighting and rereading, but remember, almost nothing. That's passive learning, and it doesn't stick. If you want a study routine that actually works, you need to focus on active learning. 5, quiz yourself. Don't just reread. One of the best ways to learn anything? Test yourself, again and again. It feels harder, but that's exactly why it works. When your brain has to struggle to recall something, it builds stronger memory connections. Here's how to do it. After reading a page, close the book and say out loud what you remember. Make flashcards, or use apps like Anki, Quizlet. Do practice questions as early as possible. Teach the concept to a friend, or just explain it to yourself. Think of it like working out. Rereading is like watching someone else lift weights. Quizzing yourself is like doing the reps yourself. 6, use the Feynman technique. Here's a simple but powerful method. Pick a topic. Try to explain it in your own words, like you're teaching it to a 12-year-old. If you get stuck, Go back, review, and try again. Simplify it more. When you can explain something in simple terms, that's when you really understand it. Part 4, the power of review. Here's something that will change the game. Most people study a topic once and then move on forever. But your brain forgets over time. That's just how memory works. If you want to remember long term, you need to review at the right time. 7. Use spaced repetition. The idea is simple. Instead of cramming, review the material at spaced intervals. Here's a basic version of the timeline. Review on the same day, then 1 day later, then 3 days later, then 1 week later, then 2 weeks later. Each time you review, it takes less effort to remember. It's like strengthening a path in the forest. Every time you walk it, the trail becomes clearer. Apps like Anki use spaced repetition automatically, but you can also just set calendar reminders or use a study tracker notebook. 8. Don't let review feel boring. Let's be real, reviewing the same material over and over can feel kind of boring. So here's the trick. Keep your reviews short, spaced out, and interactive. Don't just reread your notes like a robot. Instead, try a 5-minute self-quiz before bed, flashcards while brushing your teeth, quick mental recall while walking, whiteboard-style doodles or mind maps. The point isn't to make review feel like a chore. It's to sneak it into your day without stress. You don't need to study for hours. You just need to keep touching the material before you forget it. That's what makes it stick for the long run. Part 5. Studying that fits you. Let's talk about something that a lot of study tips ignore. There's no one-size-fits-all. The perfect study routine is only perfect if it actually works for your personality, your lifestyle, and your energy levels. So here's how to tweak things. 9. Know when you work best. Some people are night owls. Others are early birds. You don't have to force yourself to study at 5 a.m. just because someone on YouTube said so. Instead, ask yourself, when does your brain feel the sharpest? What time of day are you naturally most alert? When do you feel tired and unfocused? Once you figure that out, protect those high-energy hours. Use them for deep work, hard subjects, or heavy reading. And schedule easier tasks, like review or organization, during your lower energy times. This alone can 2x your productivity without adding a single extra minute of study time. 10. Study environment matters more than you think. Ever try to study in bed and end up falling asleep? Your brain links spaces with habits. So when you study in a spot where you normally relax or scroll TikTok, your brain gets mixed signals. Try this. Find a dedicated study space. Could be a desk, a library corner, even a small table. Keep that space clean, quiet, and focused. Use the same spot regularly to build habit memory. Even better, use environmental triggers. For example, every time you light a specific candle or put on your focus hoodie, your brain gets the signal. Okay, it's study time now. 11. Learn in multiple ways. Your brain loves variety. If all you do is read, it's going to tune out eventually. So switch it up. Listen to podcasts or lectures. Watch YouTube explanations. Make diagrams or charts. Record yourself explaining something, then listen back. Turn info into stories or analogies. You're not just feeding your brain, you're playing with it. That's how you keep it interested and learning. Part 6. Consistent. Okay, so now you have the tools. You know how to study actively, how to plan, how to manage energy. But here's the truth. The best routine in the world means nothing if you can't stay consistent. So let's talk about that. 12. Make it ridiculously easy to start. Most people fail to stick to routines because they try to be perfect, but perfection is the enemy of progress. Here's a better idea. Make your study habit so easy to start, you can't say no. Instead of saying, I'll study for 2 hours, say, I'll open my book and study for 10 minutes. That's it, just 10 minutes. Because once you start, you almost always keep going. It's like going to the gym. The hardest part isn't the workout. It's putting on your shoes and getting out the door. So lower the barrier, just show up. 13. Track your streak. Want a quick motivation boost? Track your study days. You can use a wall calendar, mark an X every day you study, a habit tracker app, even a simple notebook. Try to build a don't break the chain mindset. Once you've studied 5 days in a row, you won't want to break that streak. It gives your brain a mini reward every time you stay on track. You're not just building focus, you're building identity. You're becoming someone who shows up. 14. Forgive off days, but don't stack them. Let's be honest. Some days you won't stick to the routine. Life happens. That's okay. But there's one rule to follow. Never miss twice. Skip one study session? No problem. But let the next one happen. Get back to it. Break the pattern of skipping. That one mindset keeps people on track longer than any fancy planner or productivity app. 15. Study less. Learn more. And finally, this might sound strange, but hear me out. If your study routine is truly optimized, you'll actually study less and learn more. You won't need to pull all-nighters. You won't need 5 hours a day, because your focus will be deep, your methods will be smart, and your brain will actually retain the information. That's the goal, not just to study harder, but to study better. So now you know the truth. The perfect study routine isn't about magic formulas. It's about creating a rhythm that fits you. Removing distractions, studying actively, and showing up again and again, even when it's not perfect. And if you do that, you're already ahead of 90% of people out there. So try this routine for the next 7 days. Just 1 week. No pressure, no perfection, just consistency. And I promise you'll feel sharper, you'll retain more, and you'll actually start to enjoy the process. If this video helped you, drop a comment and share how you study best. And if you want more simple, science-backed ways to learn smarter, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep growing together. You got this.